Hello. Today I want a podcast, but I'm going to just settle for a really short little podcast because I am having trouble podcasting right now. I have had COVID and I have had it for almost 4 weeks, and I podcasted as much as I could, and I'm just fighting it, so I'm not going to continue to fight it the way I am at this time. I will continue to podcast in the future as this lets go of me. I've had pneumonia, so I'm a little under the weather still, and had a little bit of a Uranus story for the astrology textbooks. What happened to me? Well, I have Uranus in Leo in the 8th house, where it conjuncts my sun, and then I had Uranus via transit in Taurus in my 5th house, where I'm experiencing, shall we say, chaos. I am wanting to get a doctor's appointment done. I've had a problem with a spot on my pancreas for a while, and has been causing me a lot of stomach problems. I just wake up, I don't feel good, I want to throw up a lot, it's just things like that. So, needed to get this dealt with. So we make an appointment, and it doesn't happen because they're not taking any. We have a real shortage of medical staff here on the islands. And in Kona, they didn't have anybody that could do the ultrasound, so I had to wait. And so finally they got another appointment set up for me. I go to that appointment yesterday. And what happened yesterday on the 26th? Well, it was that Uranus was in a strong state, an 8. What happened to me? Well, I went and the power was basically out, and they didn't take my orders and have them printed out and ready to go. And my doctor that day had changed my orders for my well-being because I have a cyst on my bladder, and then I have 3 little mole-looking things on my pancreas, and I have my spleen is a little bit large, and my liver is a little bit large to palpate, and my pancreas is a little large. So, and I had kind of a download from my guide that said that I wasn't feeling too good, which I knew that was true. I knew I wasn't feeling real good. I kept feeling really kind of easily irritated and nauseous, and I'm not digesting food real well. And what's fascinating is I know somebody else who's having a lot of similar problems, brain fog. She doesn't have cancer, at least I hope she doesn't, but all indications are that she doesn't have cancer. I have cancer, so we know why I'm sick. We know what's causing my problems, but what do you do about it? I am like the only person right now alive with the kind of cancer that I currently have. And anything that they do to treat it is dangerous to me, up to and including the medication I take for it. I have to take one prescription medication, not an option, because I need thyroid. Now, I make quite a bit of thyroid. I make at least, enough to only require a small amount of thyroid, speaking of which I need to take my thyroid medication. But I've been having a lot of brain fog. I got COVID. It affected my brain. It caused me headaches. I even got a little hematoma on my toe, which was really weird. I got a little blood blister, which, it kind of made me think about the fact that, how some people end up with bleeds in their brains, and I wondered about the headache that I had, it just was never ending, and I can't get the vaccines, which I don't really want. Like I said, I know someone else, and this vaccine hurt them. They only got one vaccine, and they've been having problems ever since. And she and I are supposed to podcast together, and neither one of us have felt worth a darn and haven't been able to get to this. So we have our Trump medical chart that we're still working on, and we will do that. We just have to both be feeling well enough, and thank goodness we have a study group coming up, so we can kind of figure that out, maybe kind of figure out how we can wipe out that last bit of podcast. But we're only going to do it as, you're not going to really see us on camera. You're going to see the chart only. So this is one of the compromises that we are going to start making as we go forward, is not so much that I look terrible in front of the camera or I'm too sick to be in front of the camera, but at the same time, it's hot and cold for me. Some days I'm well enough to be in front of the camera and can do what I do and do it just fine. And other days I'm not so comfortable. So, I'm just going to honor the need and respect my body and say that I'm just having a hard time right now and can't really deliver on a consistent basis. So I'm going to kind of pull back enough to deliver the videos, tell the stories. But I have a really interesting story about, in general, why I'm sick in the first place. Why am I the only person alive at this time with this cancer? Well, it's a good one, let me tell you. And I have been working today. I've done the podcast two times. And I just kept having phone calls and things going on and needing to make this appointment for this ultrasound stuff. And finally, when I said, look, I don't care what you do, I just am going to make the appointment somewhere else. The appointment worked out for tomorrow morning at 7:30. So I'm going to get my doctor's appointment done, and we will know for sure what's going on with my pancreas, why I'm having such a difficult diagnosing foods, and what maybe is the plan moving forward. So with that, I thank you very much for joining me here today. Please do hit the like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to have a reading, I do medical astrology. Please do check me out. I'd be happy to provide you a reading. It does take me some time because I really go over the chart with a fine-tooth comb to try to fully understand what might be happening in your chart. With that, I thank you for joining me here today.